We are so close to the top. All right, y'all, we have made it to the Grand Tetons. We've been looking forward to this park for a long time. We just got us a nice secluded spot out here to ourselves. And good thing too, because not even an hour after setting up, we're sitting there finishing our lunch. We look out our window and we see a moose, probably not even 15, 20 yards from our camper. I'll show you where he was at. He came walking from this direction, came right here, this close to our camper, and then took off in that direction. And that was our first moose ever seeing, so needless to say, we were ecstatic. And hopefully that's an indication of how the wildlife's going to be in this park, because in between here and Yellowstone, that was our main goal, is to check off wildlife that we haven't seen before. But let me show you our campsite. We got a really nice spot. We're hoping to be able to sit out here and spot some moose or some kind of wildlife crossing this huge field. It's absolutely beautiful out here with all the leaves changing. We're excited for tomorrow to come so we can get out and see what this park's all about. That didn't take long. We already see some antelope right over here.
You got me down again.
All right, we are on trail to Cascade Canyon. Our morning was a bit delayed, but it was totally worth it. We got to see a huge herd of bison out in the field with the sunrise behind them and everything. And it was just so cool. But the trail we're on now is marked for one of the best trails to see wildlife on in the national park. So hopefully we get to see some more cool stuff like a moose or a bull elk. It's supposed to be like a 9-mile hike, but the ferry that we were gonna take to get to the trailhead is closed for the season, so it looks like we got a couple extra miles of hike. All right, so now we're at the actual trailhead. We were on a 2-mile trail to get to the trailhead. Now we're heading to Cascade Canyon for real. That's the direction the trail goes that we're on. But we're ducking off this little side trail to go see Hidden Falls. Three miles in, time to take a break, get some snackage. You already know what we got. The usual peanut butter and banana.
And a Lara bar.
The go-tos. As we were leaving Hidden Falls down there was two ladies walking up. And then as we were just taking our snack break, they came walking by us. And they said as soon as we left, a bear had walked down and started checking them out. Oh man, I wish we could have seen that.
It was more than likely because they had coffee out.
That might have been a reason actually. Hiking with coffee.
Any food or drink will attract bears.
This is actually our first time. We started to bring a dry box. So hopefully we're not leaving a food scent behind us. And we actually also just recently purchased bear spray, which we probably should have had a long time ago, but I guess better now than never. We have made it to Cascade Canyon.
Yo, these fall colors, they're unreal. So beautiful out here.
That's pretty much the most colorful leaves we've seen. Now if we could just see a moose right out there in them. All right, so we reached the turnaround point of the trail. There's actually a couple more miles to the end of the canyon, but we decided our hearts are content enough with all the colors we've seen when we first entered the canyon and with the bison we've seen this morning, even though we didn't see any on the trail. But we've been hiking for 5 miles and we're also like almost an hour drive from the trailhead back to the camper, so we don't want to leave the animals alone too long. So we're heading back. Holy cow, good thing we turned around, you guys. Check this out. That was freaking epic. We seen 2 moose. Cannot believe we seen it. If we didn't turn back when we did, we would not have had the opportunity to see them.
And moose are my favorite.
And like you heard in the video right before this one, it was like, oh, we didn't get to see any other wildlife, but it's okay. Can't believe we seen them. And we are back to the parking lot.
Only took us about 5 hours to go 10.5 miles, but we saw some awesome wildlife, so I'm not complaining.
Still shook that we saw the moose and the bison this morning. Honestly, we could leave tomorrow and be satisfied.
As far as small animals go, we saw a pika and a grouse.
Yep.
And tons of chipmunks, tons of them.
Not quite as exciting as a moose, but it's still another animal checked off the list. Hey, second gen part next to me. Let's go. And we are headed back to camp, checking on the puppy dog. We are back to the camper. Sarah's about to let Edison out. Let's see his reaction to see if he's been a good dog or a bad dog.
Hi,
What's up, buddy? You was a good dog? Oh, him seems pretty happy. Is he a good dog? That's a good boy. Oh, look at him.
He has a tendency to be pretty upset with us when we leave him to go on hikes. Whenever we hike in the national parks, since he can't hike with us. And sometimes he does bad dog things, but most of the time he's pretty good.
Hey, buddy.
You telling Dad? So I missed you guys. He said, can I go for a run?
If he was bad, he would have been like over there somewhere. Now that we're back, we're gonna chillax a little bit, recoup, get some food in us, and then we'll probably end up going back out, driving around later on, see if we can spot any more wildlife or just go sightseeing. I cannot believe he just used that bridge instead of just tromping through the water.
See any elk out here?
No.
About any mooses?
No.
It's cold. It is 28 degrees. It says it feels like 23 with the humidity. I don't know why the humidity is so high today, but it's like 90 something percent. We're headed to the trailhead though. All right, y'all, I don't know what we got ourselves into today. I think it's gonna be a pretty tough hike. We're hiking to Crag Lake somewhere up here on these mountains or on the other side of it. It's supposed to be a 2.5 mile hike to the summit, so 5 mile round trip with 3,000 feet of elevation gain. And like I said on one of the previous hikes, that the ferry isn't running, so it's adding an extra like 1.5 miles each way. So we're looking at almost 8 miles total with 3,000 feet of elevation gain. Oh yeah, so when we were driving here this morning, we actually missed our turn to the trailhead. So we had to go up a few miles before we could turn around. And good thing that's how it happened, because otherwise we would not have been able to see this animal. Check it out. That was probably the biggest elk we've ever seen, and the first elk we've seen since we've been in the Grand Tetons. And we've heard them bugle off in the distance before, but I don't think we've ever seen one like that up close while they were bugling. So it was a really cool way to start the morning. And now we're here. If Sarah didn't know what she was looking for, we would have missed it. We're to the trail that takes us to the lake of the Crags.
Oh, watch out.
And we are off into the forest.
It's nothing but up from here.
Yeah, for real. So this is where the 2.5 miles starts to the lake and the 3,000 feet of elevation gain. This is gonna be something else. Your shirt matches all the leaves.
That's cool.
This doesn't look like a very populated trail.
I wouldn't think so. I think it's another one that's...
Oh. We are up here. If it wasn't steep enough already, it's really about to get steep. These reds are insane. We are so close to the top. We're also so close to giving up.
This shit sucks.
I think all we have is this climb left, which looks pretty gnarly. Whoa, this is steep. You got this.
I don't know where to step.
What a beauty. All right, there's one lake, and this is gonna have to be good enough from over here because I'm not walking no further. There's the second lake. Baby,
Yeah,
we made it to Lake of the Crags.
we did it.
Y'all should have heard all the complaining she was doing.
This hike sucked. 10 out of 10, don't recommend.
This is really one of the toughest hikes we've ever done, seriously. And we passed like 5 people on trail, or they passed us rather.
We
And
passed them, they passed us. It was a game of hopscotch.
And they all said the same thing, that this is by far the hardest 3,000 feet of elevation they've ever climbed. So in total, since we've been in the Tetons, we have hiked, how many? 30 or 25 miles?
Yeah, 25 miles.
25, roughly 25 miles and roughly 4,000 feet of elevation in 3 days. So we are pretty gassed. We're planning on heading to Yellowstone tomorrow, but
I think we need a rest day.
I think we're gonna end up hanging around tomorrow, just recuperating. Honestly, I think we're gonna end the video here. I don't know if I have any more energy to record anything else in this park, so hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining us.
See you in the next one. Peace.